Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Hollywood Actors Guide to Surviving the Film and Television Industry. This is Jennifer Lynn Warren. Let's jump right into it. So I just for fun shot a short film. It was a play by August Strindberg. And, I'm just working on my directing chops. And like I said, you always need to get in front of the camera. And I edited the footage as well. And I'm looking at it. And there are moments I don't like, there are moments I really like. And so I'm like, all right, well, why do I really like the moments that I like? And I think it's because in those moments, I was able to, we talk about it a lot if you're studying method acting and you're talking about, a lot of Stanislavski work, the idea of just being able to let go of yourself and just be the character. And when you do that, I've noticed that I'm also completely unself-conscious. Just completely unself-conscious. I don't care how I look or how I sound or what I'm doing because I'm behaving in the way that the character would, not in a way that makes me, Jennifer, feel or look good, right? I'm serving the circumstances of the script. And so I wanted to talk about self-consciousness and things that trigger it and maybe things that we could do to maybe let go of it. And so one thing I thought of, so number one, is I think it might be interesting to write down things that you're self-conscious about. Of course, these are going to be, the easiest ones I think are appearance-based. Like, do you not like your eyes? Do you not like your hair? Or do you have scars? Do you hate your accent? Do you hate the way your voice sounds? Do you sometimes feel stupid? Like whatever it is that you feel self-conscious about. And I think it could be interesting of creating a character around something that you dislike about yourself and make that thing that you dislike the thing that would get you to book that role, and then to shoot something and to see maybe we can learn to let go of those things when we realize that we can use those things we don't like about ourselves to service the character. I also want you to really work on challenging those negative thoughts, because I did have a casting director say once, I wish I remember who it was, but they said, usually the things you like the least about yourself are the things that intrigue us and can sometimes be the reason that you get the job over another actor because they make you interesting. So remember that next time your inner critic starts, shouting away at you, and just try, and I know it's hard, but try to just shrug it off and realize, what? Maybe the fact that my hair is frizzy today is going to be the thing that's going to make them say, oh, that's a good character choice. And because sometimes things are out of your control. So if they're out of your control, embrace it for the character. I also want you to realize that people aren't paying as much attention to you as you think, which is so funny because you would think in a casting session that it is all about you. But if you've ever been in a casting session where you've been on the other side of the table, you're still so distracted by things that you are self-conscious about. So that casting director may be feeling self-conscious because maybe their assistant just ate something stinky in the office and it still smells, and they're worried, or maybe they did, that maybe the actors are going to think that they're the ones being unprofessional and they're worried how the actors are thinking about them. Maybe, they had a bad hair day and they don't feel like they're most attractive, and so they're just not wanting anyone to see them, but they have to see hundreds of actors. You'd be surprised how, even in a casting situation, that they can be in the same headspace as you are. Also know that confidence can be learned. And funny enough, and if you read a lot of these books like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, like these great, rich resources that we hear that business people read. And a lot of those books teach you self-confidence. So if you really want to dive and you don't mind a little bit of a dry read, those are really great resources to go to. And if you don't feel it at first, at least act like there's no need to worry. Because if you act like there's no need to worry, suddenly there's you'll start to realize there's no there's no need to worry. And this comes from the acting school of thought. If you've heard of actors working from the outside in, if they don't feel depressed, they will make their body do a slouch and how they see depressed people standing and breathing, and they imitate that, and you'll find that you'll start feeling depressed. So if the inside out method's not working for you, a lot of times the outside in method will work for you. And that is also a way for you just to gain confidence. Just stand like a confident person, walk like a confident person. You don't have to be a confident person in that moment, but if you pretend to be like that, you'll just start to transform, and you'll start to see why you need to study inside out and outside in types of acting, which is pretty cool. And, challenge yourself with these things. Sometimes even making fun of yourself, just let it be, then let it go. Do some inner work on yourself, build your self-confidence, because the more self-confident you can be, the more you can let yourself go in front of the camera, and the more the camera will love you. Today's quote of the day comes from the Dalai Lama, and he said, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." I know on social media these days, it is really easy to get into arguments with people. People are sitting at home, you're distracted, you're easily annoyed, and I think that you forget that you are the face of a brand, which is your own brand as an artist, and you're representing yourself. And I saw something just deteriorate on Twitter in the saddest way. And somebody who was a cast member of a TV show posted something a little bit politically irritating. I agreed with what they had to say, but I could see how it could be antagonistic. And an actor went after, unknown actor went after this very well-known actor and just berated them on Twitter. And the well-known actor didn't reply, but guess who did? The casting director of that television show. Now, the casting director of that television show is obviously following the star actor because, they may have formed a friendship and things like that. And whether that casting director agreed or didn't agree with the star actor is besides the point, because that actor is just voicing their opinion. But the way this unknown actor went in was really cruel and was definitely like an attack on their person and not even on their belief. And it was pretty vile. And the casting director pretty much called out that actor about how unprofessional that they were, and how they kind of slyly put it, I should have written it down, of like, I see you. I see the type of person you are, and I'm glad I don't ever have to choose to cast actors such as yourself. And you could tell that casting director had probably clicked on their profile, saw that they were an actor, and just in a very side-eye way was just like, yeah, don't ever come into my casting room because of the way you just attacked this actor on Twitter. I will never book you or probably bring you in for an audition. Is that fair? Yes and no. I don't think anybody should have to work with people who are argumentative and terrible people to work with. So I kind of side with the casting director in this. And that just goes to just serve as a warning. Sometimes we can get heated in our political beliefs, whether it doesn't matter which side you're on. It doesn't matter if you think you're right or wrong. It's okay to voice your opinions in a very polite, professional, and loving manner publicly, but just realize that if you are not choosing to be kind, and it's always possible to choose kindness, then you may be jeopardizing potential future opportunities. That's all I'm saying. just like I think every single director and even writer should be forced to take an acting class, I think that every actor should be forced to take a directing class and to at least read a screenwriting book, because you learn so much about your own craft, things that they kind of forget to teach you in acting class, or just don't, I don't know, it just doesn't occur to them maybe, or they think it's not their place to teach you this. But there's structures to things. So in a movie script that, you know, on average, there are 120 pages. And your act 1, which is normally pages 1 through 30, that's your introduction to everything, the characters, what the problem's going to be, setting everything up. Act 2, which is on average 31 to page 90, that's where your conflict is for your character. And Act 3, which is average, pages 90 through 120, is the resolution. So if you get an audition and your character is on page 97, they're probably part of the resolution and helping the hero character get out of whatever jam they're in, you know, or just like if they're only on page 15, you're simply there to serve the introduction and backstory of one of the characters. Or if you're anywhere between 31 and 90, you're probably involved in the conflict. You're either causing it or you're an obstacle in the way, you're trying to help the character get out. And that can be very informative in a time that we may only get a few pages of an audition for a film and we don't know where that scene is in the film. If there are page numbers that the casting director has hopefully left for you, that is a clue for you to know where you are in the script. And just like every script has a journey and it has a transition and it has an arch, every scene has the same thing. Every scene has introduction, conflict, some sort of resolution. There's something that happens in every scene. And so it's up to you to not only find all of these transitions and to figure out where your character is, in the story, because that is going to help you figure out how to serve that story and book that role. So I think in this time where we are at home and we got a little bit of time, well, at least you're not spending a lot of time auditioning, though things are starting back up. I do have 2 friends on sets right now, so that makes me so happy. Yay for them. Well, while they're working, they've obviously figured it out. While the rest of us are at home, read story, read Save the Cat, or if you don't like reading, go on YouTube and look up some videos on screenwriting and how to direct, because it's really going to inform you how to prep your auditions, guys. So thank you very much. That's all we have for today. Break a leg out there and remember, you are not alone.